Hello, I am Mr. Lee Chemsir. This is part 2 of the video clip talking about the answers in the pre-mock exam. So let's go on. Question number 15. First of all, make sure you know that barium sulfate is an insoluble salt, and it should be prepared by mixing two solutions instead of just adding acid to a certain insoluble compound. So A and B are incorrect because even though the barium sulfate is produced, it will be coated on the surface of the reactant barium carbonate. Therefore, the preparation will not be successful. C and D are better, but option D, using concentrated hydrochloric acid, is inappropriate. Therefore, C is the answer. Because in the first step, you change the barium carbonate into barium chloride solution. It is an aqueous solution. And then later on, you mix it with another solution that contains the sulfate ion, and you will get the insoluble barium sulfate. Question number 16. First of all, the powder can dissolve in water. That means it must be a soluble compound. So B is not the answer because calcium sulfate is insoluble. The answer is A because calcium hydroxide is soluble in water, although it is just lightly soluble in water. But later on, when it is mixed with potassium carbonate solution, from the calcium hydroxide solution, there will be calcium ions. From the potassium carbonate solution, there will be carbonate ion, and calcium carbonate precipitate, which is white in color, will be produced. C and D are not the answers because these two compounds contain the sodium ions, and make sure you know that the solution mixed with potassium carbonate solution, you will get the sodium carbonate, and this is soluble, and you will get any precipitate. Question number 17. The volume 25.0 cm cube is telling you that you are using the pipette. Normally, in this kind of experiment, after you use the pipette, you will drop the solution into a conical flask, and then later on, to carry out the titration together with the burette and so on. So this is obvious that B is the answer. Question number 18. Bromoethane has the formula like this. After it reacts with chlorine, it is of course an addition reaction. So the product is B. Question number 19. To distinguish between sodium sulfite and sodium sulfate, make sure you know that the focus should be the sulfite ion, being a reducing agent. So options 2 and 3 are okay because both of them are oxidizing agents. You need to know that option 1 is incorrect because iron 2, although it can be reduced to iron, however, this reduction can be achieved by very strong reducing agents only. For example, magnesium and zinc and so on. So it is difficult to achieve this reduction by sodium sulfite. Therefore, the answer is D. Question number 20. This experiment using charged rod and then burette containing a jet of liquid, and then the jet of liquid deflects towards the rod. It is of course showing that the liquid is polar. So water is of course polar because H2O, the polarity of the molecule is like this. Hexane is nonpolar because it is an alkane. Trichloromethane is also polar because trichloromethane has the structural formula like this and the shape is like this. The polarity of the molecule is like this. So the answer is B. Question number 21. Endothermic. For option A, make sure you know that H2O liquid and H2O solid, their relative enthalpies are like this. So to change from H2O liquid to H2O solid, it is actually an exothermic process, a decrease in enthalpy. So A is not the answer. B is the formation of a hydrated crystal. Make sure you know that the decomposition of a hydrated crystal is somehow a thermal decomposition, which is endothermic. And therefore, the process of forming a hydrated crystal is exothermic. And therefore, it is again not the answer. Option C is the answer because it is electrolysis. And electrolysis must be endothermic. Option D is also not the answer. The reaction between a reactive metal and water is always exothermic. Question number 22. Formation of CH3CH2OH. Of course, first of all, we write the equation first. 2 carbon atoms plus 3H2 plus 1/2 O2 to give the ethanol. So make sure you know that the data provided are the standard enthalpy change of combustion. So making use of such data, you need to do the calculation. In short, summation of delta H reactants minus summation of delta H of products. So bear in mind you have to consider the coefficients in the equations. So you may write the expression like this. 2 graphite plus 3 hydrogen and then minus the product. And then you can get the answer, the value being negative 275, of course, kilojoule per mole. Question number 23. Solid citric acid, of course, cannot turn dry blue litmus paper red because there is no water. It cannot show its acidic properties. And of course, solid citric acid does not contain any hydrogen ions because it is present in the form of molecules. So the answer is D. Question number 24. Bromine water can react with sodium iodide. Of course, it is correct. Bromine can react with iodide. According to this reaction, giving two bromide ions and iodine. The reason behind is, of course, this statement, okay? Iodine ion being a stronger reducing agent than bromide ion. And this is also the explanation of the first statement. So the answer is A. So that's the end of part 2 of the video clip.